Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 17 of the Whiskey Podcast.
17 indeed.
We made it.
If you missed us the past couple, this episode should kind of help clear that up. It's been pretty hectic since the holidays.
Certainly a wild ride. So, if you're just joining us, my name's Chudada.
I'm Nate Fu.
And we are dads, husbands, gamers, exhausted.
Very much so. What are we drinking tonight? Today
we are drinking Redbreast 12-year-old.
Nice, a little good Irish whiskey.
Yeah, it's actually a combination of American oak and Spanish Soso wood, I believe it said.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
very
definitely it's not what you expect out of an Irish whiskey.
It's kind of a sherry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't complain at all.
So when was our last episode? We were the week before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, just before Thanksgiving, I think it was.
Yeah. And that was interesting because typically this time of year we'd be doing a Friendsgiving or we'd be getting together with the families and, having the big knockout feast. And But
instead, we're cramped into my tiny office, which is a mess because it's cold enough that we didn't bother want to go outside. And we're doing, what is tonight? Fourth night of Hanukkah,
yeah.
And then we've got Christmas in 2 weeks. And 3 weeks, we're done with this year.
Yeah.
2020 will officially be in the bags. And, I'm still waiting for the surprise ending because the way the writers have done this year, it's obnoxious as hell.
Right.
But, the truth is, we could be this could really just be the plot of, what, The Island?
The Island.
What was that plane crash?
Oh, Lost?
Lost, there we go.
I didn't watch that dribble, I'm sorry. I couldn't get into it at all.
Well,
but yeah. So the 2020 holiday schedule it's been odd. It's going to continue to be odd. We're doing everything via Zoom meetings and video conference and.
Well, on top of that, I just started a brand new job. I think we just were talking about that at the last episode, and now we've been about a month into it.
Yep.
The wives and teaching, I believe this week upcoming is the last one before the winter break.
Mm-hmm.
Though, as of, I think we talked about it last episode, I can't be sure, officially they will be remote teaching for the rest of this school year.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, especially how bad things are getting out there. My kid crawled this morning for the first time.
Yeah, it's happening.
Dude, I don't even know how to deal with that right now.
Yeah, it's...
Your oldest threw at your wife that she doesn't love her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a first.
Yeah, I guess for her.
Yeah.
I've been told that plenty of times, but then, it's typically after I say no to something. So.
It's true. You're not respecting her feelings. She needs some space now.
And she's not even 4 yet.
Dude, she's got you guys so, trained and figured out. But I've noticed, recently, and I think especially right after the little photo shoot that we did, you've been a lot more available with the kids and around a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess your schedule seems to be stabilizing and lightening up a bit, which is nice.
Yeah, it's the typical ebb and flow of my workflow is end of the month. We have to make quotas, and overtime becomes almost a necessity. So, yeah, we get towards the back half of the month, and it gets to be pretty brutal. And then, yeah, so what's the date? We're the 13th.
Yeah, dude, Tuesday, I'm officially been in my job for a month already.
Yeah. Yeah, so this, the past 2 weeks have been really, really slow at work, so it means I can actually, 1, get sleep, 2,
Right.
Don't have to be burnt out all the time, and, the downside is, I haven't, video gaming, I haven't done any of that. Yeah. So, you gotta make sacrifices somewhere, and...
See, I've been doing the extreme. I've blatantly dropped the ball as far as content for Debuff Dads and our social media and things like that, because work was getting to be so much, and then the kid, that I've actually been flipping on all the other responsibilities besides those two and trying to squeeze as much game time in as possible. Yeah. Because that's
your
my
therapy.
Recharge. Yeah. That, and, your daughter's the taskmaster. So, his oldest... both of his girls love dinosaurs, so I love building games. Started playing Ark with them. Probably going to end up live streaming some of that because it is hilarious. You've got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old who are correcting me on dinosaur names and pronunciations. And really getting a kick of watching the dinosaurs that they insist on my friends then eat me. Your oldest loves that in particular.
For some reason, you like to play games where getting eaten is an option, and she will encourage that behavior.
Oh, he just wants to be your friend. He hates you.
The zombie just wants to hug you. Oh, look, he's eating you. God.
Which, on top of it, is really amusing because she's also in this phase where she's either Dory or Nemo or Marlin. Or she's toothless.
Oh, she's reached the phase of imaginary friends.
Oh, yes.
And I'm actually told that's a pretty good milestone of development. Well,
she can tell them what to do, and they listen.
Yeah. But yeah, she has her...
Unlike her sister.
She has her pet dragons. She has her chameleon. What was the chameleon's name? Cornelius. Yes.
By the way, she comes up with these names herself. We don't. I'm sure she watches it on one of her shows, but I can't keep up with it, and she's, way too fucking smart for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Although, as an improvement, your wife has been able to get her to keep her clothes on when she's working, so, the naked child walking into the middle of her Zoom teaching has reduced a bit.
Yeah. We only have one of them now.
Yeah.
And she's been extra super clingy. She is going through that phase, and you'll get there. I know you're not looking forward to it.
Thanks.
You've seen both of mine do it. But they're definitely fighting for attention. And Charlotte has become very, very vocal about her wants and needs these days.
Yeah. Or she just comes in, takes the Coke out of your hand, and chugs it herself while looking at you.
And this is why we have caffeine-free Coke in our house.
Yeah, my daughter right now, whenever I have a glass in my hand, lunges for the glass. I made the mistake of having a Jack and Coke the other day and turning around while she was in my hand and turned back and, her mouth was on the glass and her hand was in the cup so that she could grab an ice cube and put it in her mouth. And then she went back for more. But hey, that helps that teething, right?
Yes, how's that coming, by the way?
She's got her 2 front top and 2 front bottom teeth that you can see the edges of them. They just won't come through. I think she's just, she'll decide to crawl, walk, stand on her own, have teeth, and call me Dada regularly and Mama Bear Mama regularly all at the same time. It'll be her first birthday. She's like, all right, check mark done. Give me stuff. But dude, she eats everything. And if you make the mistake of eating something around her, like we have these cereal breakfast bars. If you open one and she hears the wrapper and you do not share it with her, oh my God, all hell will break loose. She will first give you the death glare and then start screeching until you give it to her. And we're, trying to wean her off of Mama Bear and give her, more calories and more food because she eats a ton. That girl has like 4 breakfasts.
Right.
And, real solid food, and she eats everything. And, she's got her habit. She's going to decide what she wants to do when she wants to do it. And screw the rest of them.
Yeah, but she's still right on track with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So she's hitting all the leaps like she's supposed to.
Yeah, 10.5 months. Right after Christmas will be 11 months. And then a year. A year. Dude. Because it's not just, my little baby's going to be a year old. It's...
What year it's been?
This year. But no, we've had good. Like, this new job I have is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great group, startup. I'm working with a cybersecurity firm. And, like, something I found in entertainment is you're not valued. You're kind of just taken advantage of. And if you offer something, it's a threat. Here, they're like, dude, you're willing to talk up and take initiative. Do whatever you need. Like, I started leading meetings my second week, and they were amazed. They're like, you don't need more time? Like, dude, no, you have it written down. It's just making sure all the content's correct. Yes, Lady Foo?
It smells like scotch. I need a light for Sarah.
A light?
Yeah. I have to record her. It's terrible.
Oh. Our portable light studio, sound studio.
Whatever.
You'll edit that out, right?
Yeah. No.
I'm not editing it out of the video. I honestly don't know how much time I'm going to be able to get to really start doing these things regularly.
Right.
I'm going to have to plan ahead. It's weird.
Well, I just have to stop being such a perfectionist about the audio takes.
Well, I think if we can get the audio to consistently be good coming out the first time, it makes your perfectionism a little bit easier on you.
And see, that's like, I get that. I can do some, I do a filter, a pass. It is what it is, but there's, things that I can fix. The extra ums, uhs, dead air, dead space, and sometimes I just gotta let that go a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we all mock you for it. I think at least 4 of the last 5 episodes I've mocked you for it at least once in the middle of the episode. We also said,
Speaking of opinions, I hear opinions happening behind us right now.
Right. Your wife was talking about doing yearbook photos and, using a green screen. And I'm like, just do one of the edits on them, do it horrible, and you'll take it over and have to fix it and do it right. That's just, the nature of it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So that's how you got sucked into GMH, right?
Yeah, which that actually, we just had our end of year meeting as well. And,
well, first off, there's the fundraiser.
Yeah, this year we've held 2 fundraisers for the kits that we do. The first one we did, we set a goal of $1,000. And we hit that quite soundly. Did a stretch goal of 2. Hit that middle of the second day, stretched that goal all the way out to 3, hit that by the end of the second day, and totaled out with $3,300. So this time around, we set the goal initially at 2. We were competing with airspace-wise with a major bungee charity initiative that they were doing. and a rare drop charity initiative that they were doing. So we kind of figured $2,000 is reasonable going up against two very heavy hitters in the charity space.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did we blow away the $2,000 goal first day, we ended up stretching it out to $4,000. We ended up closing the charity out at $4,510.
Damn.
Now,
yeah, the $10 is because someone put off cents, and someone else with a bit of a perfectionist situation had to go in and round it all up.
Yep.
Had to be an even number.
Yep, I had to clear that up right at the very end. So that allowed us to, between the first and the second charity, we were doing the mental health kits. We were able to send out over 700 of these kits.
No cost to anyone that needs them,
Yeah.
which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Joe's been busting his hump this weekend, putting them together. So... So yeah, we kind of had a realignment and a delegation of roles in that server. So Matt, one of our mental health professionals, actually got put on the board of directors. So
Nice.
yeah, he's now the head of advocacy. I got bumped up to basically I'm the mod master, the mod of mods.
Mm-hmm.
So I am now the volunteer manager for the
One mod to rule them all.
Yeah, well, basically the volunteer HR department. So, yeah, if anyone wants to come and help out, it's my duty to vet manage, make sure they get the proper training, schedule that for them, and just kind of keep in touch with everyone.
I haven't had any training.
No, I didn't mod you either.
That's true.
I was actually kind of surprised the first time you posted. I went, well, there goes this safe space.
Right. Well, you can still talk shit about me in the podcast because I'm not part of that.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of channels, believe me. Yeah, I joke. Again, we're pretty open and honest in this family. So I mean, my wife's in the server as well. So like, if I were ever to talk shit about the family, it's not anything that they haven't heard.
Yeah, and across the board, they've all heard quite a bit.
Yeah,
on both sides. Yeah, my side, speaking of family, so just before Thanksgiving, my mother moved out here. She had been in Florida for the last year, so helping to take care of my grandmother, who was 90 plus at this point, turned 90 earlier in the year, and, just rough times. And originally the goal was every couple of weeks she would fly back here, but then COVID hit.
mm-hmm.
So now she's out here permanently, but she's shacked up with my brother in a 1-bedroom apartment that he's also working out of. So it's quite the experience.
Yeah.
But, while they're adapting, she's really stepped up and has been really involved in trying to be a grandmother to our little Ewok. So that's been great.
Mm-hmm.
And, small steps at this point. All good things have to be.
Yeah, they're coming over later on this evening, correct?
Yeah.
So
because we're doing, I think Bubby's also coming over.
right for
Which
fourth night.
Yeah, which is our wife's grandmother is going to be coming over.
Oh.
And everyone's quarantined. Like, these are our only circles that we interact with. So it's, we've done our due diligence there. But still.
Yeah, it's still scary. We're still having cases at my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after the last one we had that I was pretty vocal about, the company gets it to the point where we got a notification that yet another coworker contracted COVID, who hasn't been in the office for 3 months because he's been working from home, and somehow contracted it and let everyone know that he wouldn't be doing his duties over Zoom calls because he contracted COVID, and they still circulated it company-wide. Like, he wasn't around any of us. There was zero risk to anyone in the company, but they
are acknowledging it.
Yep.
Well, that's good. It's like, there's a lot of companies that are trying desperately to open up back now, but most of them either can't afford or don't see the need to actually put protections in place for their employees. And I think companies like yours have been bitten enough at this point that they're like, yeah, we need to make sure we actually, cover our own ass.
Yeah, well,
and make sure that people are taking care of them.
It's not to say it hasn't hit the company, because unfortunately, for the first 6 months of next year, and exclusive, the whole family, I actually haven't even had a chance to talk to any of you about this, but they're going to be putting us on furlough. We have to take 8 days within the first 6 months unpaid.
Oof.
And you can't offset it with vacation or sick time.
So just a week less of pay, week and a half.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It's not horrible, like 8 days. And it's going to work out to one every 2, they're going to split. Some people are going to be Fridays, some people are going to be Mondays. But every 2 weeks you get a 3-day weekend.
Nice. I mean, that's a nice way to look at it.
Right. At least they didn't do it on Wednesday.
So what I'm hearing is that you need to build your streaming computer before then, so that you can be streaming during your off day. Building that up. Come on. How's that fence coming along?
Same as our chimney sweep is coming along.
Yeah, so the agreement was that, Nate here can make his own computer or build a new computer. And I think your wife was getting a new computer also. But first, they needed a front yard fence. And it's not for lack of trying. It's just, legitimate incompetency or what?
On all of our parts. Like we're really not pushing the issue, but here's my bad review for the month. Home Advisor. I hear now after the fact very mixed reviews on services rendered or lack thereof, and they completely dropped the ball on something as simple as a chimney sweep. So our other projects that we have scheduled through them as well have obviously not been acted upon either. So get that fence. We got to get the fence because
now your girls can open the front door.
Just that little layer of safety between them bolting out the front door and running into the street, or running at random dog neighbors walking down the street with, or
can you just use like a wireless fence and just put a shock collar on them?
Don't tempt me. Although knowing my oldest, she would drag the youngest to the end of the fence and push her just to watch her. You see it, you laugh, but I'm not.
You're 100% right. And they both giggle about it.
And this is why we drink.
This is one of many reasons why we drink.
Yeah,
but a good chunk of it.
But so we want a fence so that we can kind of let them run around the front yard, and just kind of be kids and not have to be constantly scared about them again, running out into traffic or.
Yeah.
So that's.
Well, your oldest, your kids now get to the point that they can, trick your wife into paying attention to them by like just opening the front door, not going out, but opening it so your wife hears the alarm, ding that the door's been opened, and she quickly runs out and is like, "Oh, you're done with your call because you came out here."
Mommy, I want a snack. Okay, but why were you going out the front door? I don't know. Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass when you're so fucking smart.
So, fence, and then new computer for me. We're still tossing the idea of a computer for her. It depends on what this whole teach from home thing looks like.
It's going to be another 6 months.
Yeah.
And at this point, I would do it. I need to do mine as soon as we get our finances back in order.
Yeah.
My computer's
again, she was fortunate enough to get assigned equipment from the district. Yeah, and it's not incapable. It's just restrictive because it's got the school lockdowns on it.
Right.
So she can't install software she wants, and she has to be careful about upgrades. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. So, and it's older equipment. But fence, 2 computers. money, and then
we have to upgrade our internet speed because now that we've got 3 of us in the household zooming for work constantly, and then on top of it, when you guys come over, we can have 7 people all actively streaming or voice video chatting or anything like that at the same time, and my poor 100 down 10 up can't handle that.
No.
So we're getting the
gig down, right?
The 900 down, 35 up.
Nice.
Which really pisses me off. That it's like only 35 is the max upload that you're able to get. But that's the best we can get in this neighborhood. So I guess I'll be downloading a lot of things.
Well, a lot of the stuff that we do in this household is download dependent, right? Yeah. Watching streams, all of our technology is, all your televisions are all Roku or Chromecast, or so that's a good chunk of download. We do very little upload other than the gaming.
Right. Well, uploading or gaming and voice chat, video chat. It's pretty much the uploading stuff that we do. So we'll see. Hopefully it cleans it up pretty quick.
Yep.
If not, well, we spent the money. We're locked in for at least a year.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, with the whole gaming thing, you've been arcing your butt off just to decompress. I haven't been able to do much. What?
Did Grammy leave and then your wife leave? Okay. My wife's got everyone. Good luck. We're all counting on you.
If you hear screaming and see a door fly open, this cast might end very quickly.
Right.
Anyway, like on the gaming front, I'm still looking everywhere. I actually have a coworker that's also now on Xbox Series X Watch, and I said, "You find one, you buy it, I'll pay you." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll get it, and I won't overcharge you."
Just a 15% commission. And...
Sure. Yeah, so I'm still looking on that on top of, possibly getting the gaming rig, which I don't have. All the games that are out right now, apparently, like Cyberpunk has been an absolute punk to anything not running next-gen hardware.
Yeah.
What do we have here? Oh. Charlotte is asleep, Brooke is on the computer, and yours is about to go down for a nap.
Cool. Yay.
Yeah.
Go team.
I hear Cyberpunk is just absolutely brutal. They're actually calling it the new Crisis. So, and for, you youngins that don't understand the Crisis reference, that was the benchmark to benchmark your computer to. If you could play Crisis, you had significant hardware.
And my boss, who's a 20-year cybersecurity expert, worked military, government, large corporations, things like that. He let us all take off early. What was it, Wednesday? Because he wanted to go play Cyberpunk. But he and I were just joking about it while he was playing. He's like, "Dude, it's beautiful. But if it wasn't for the fact that I upgrade my computer every other year, or get a new computer set up every other year, I would not be able to even touch this to the capacity that it's designed for." And it's a CD Projekt Red, so they're going to design something that looks good well into the future of its capabilities.
Yeah, apparently it's pushing newer hardware. It's pushing the 3060s pretty hard.
Yeah.
The 3080s are letting you play it, mostly the top settings. Sadly, the next gen consoles are all running last gen versions of the game, so it's unoptimized. And the last gen consoles are failing miserably.
Yeah. That's an understanding.
The PS4, I understand my original year one Xbox One having some issues with it, and then you have an S having issues with it. But the minimum system requirements are well past what the Xbox One X that this particular build was designed and written for.
And some of it's just
like
they need to
PlayStation
optimize
Pro, PS4 Pro can't even play it. So
yeah, they need to optimize a lot of it, I think. And I think once they get a Game of the Year edition, it'll go for that. It'll figure itself out a lot, but.
Yeah, and there's some obvious vitriol in the community on it because, you paid for a game that, one was delayed nearly a year or a little over a year. It should come out in a state where it's absolutely unplayable on a platform it's being sold on.
Yeah, but
that's rough.
All games in the first place have their launch issues. The launch issues here aren't from the game side necessarily. It's from the hardware not necessarily being able to keep up with it. Well, so I don't necessarily hold that out because...
Here's an example, though. You had yet another pretty big title, which unfortunately we haven't been able to play, the Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, that's PS5. PS4. They did the upgrade on it?
It's PS4.
PS4. Mm-hmm.
The PS5 upgrade hasn't come out yet. You're still playing a backwards compatible version of it, but it shipped out of the box with two modes, basically a performance mode and a quality mode. Because they knew quality mode wouldn't run on older hardware, but you could enable that quality mode
if
you happen to have the specs to do it. And then just recently they patched it where they have now a hybrid where you can run that full 4K 60 frame. Basically, quality mode was 4K 30 frame. Performance mode was 1080 60 frame. Now they have a mode that's 4K 60 frame by eliminating assets from the game.
That says something about the speed and growth of which this hardware is taken. And we're talking serious jumps. Just look at the RTX 20 series and RTX 30 series from NVIDIA. There is such a drastic hardware jump from the 1080s to a 2080, and then that is even massive jump to the 3080s. And 1080 to 2080 was 5 years. The 2080 to 3080 was 1 year.
Right.
Like the growth of what these systems are capable of is so drastic. It's insane.
And now we're hearing rifts in the CPU realm here, where Intel is actually getting phased out by ARM architecture, like the whole x86 core instruction set is being rendered useless.
I have no idea what you just said, but I'm going to assume you just called me fat.
Yes.
Okay. That's been my attitude towards cybersecurity on my job lately. I'm like, I have no idea what those letters and words that you just told me were, but I'm just assuming that they are insinuations on my body type. And I don't appreciate it.
No, it's just a shift in the way things are being processed. You have your Mac stuff that's always been RISC architecture, and they decided to switch over to Intel. They said, this is horribly inefficient. We're actually going back to the way we used to do it, and here we go with, I'm not calling you fat. They have an abstraction layer that they can run basically emulated code better on this new architecture than natively on the architecture it's designed for.
I mean, you start looking at that, and you look at all these cloud providers that can do infrastructure as a service and spin up these individual VMs that can do all of this in code. And you start wondering, how much of this are we just going to end up leasing from the cloud versus having to get the hardware that sits on our desk?
Yeah. And with the advent of VMs that can scale as needed, like that. Like, oh, this particular leg needs more horsepower? Okay. Slider. You're good.
Yeah. I haven't turned on the Xbox in a while, but just watching some of these upgrades for systems that are coming out on just the PC. Like Destiny just did their massive next-gen patch with the field of view scaler. on all consoles.
And 60 frame support on, well, no, it's only next gens.
The Field of View I thought was Xbone.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, next gens. Fooled you.
Yep. Yeah, you may be right. The One X might have also got the Field of View slider, but not ours.
Right. We live too much in an archaic world. Back in our day, you couldn't Field of View anything in Destiny. You had to just look around.
60 frames. Nobody can see in 60 frames. The human eye is only capable of detecting 30 frames per second. It doesn't matter, except that it does.
And it looks pretty.
It does look pretty.
Looks very pretty.
So.
And for us old people, that's very important. Looks are everything. Don't let anyone fool you.
Yeah.
Although I've also seen a lot of indie and retro games that have been doing very well lately. You know, we've got the Phasmophobia, which has been pretty hot. You've got your Among Us, which is, jumped in popularity 2 years after its release. 4 years after its release.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming has kind of taken a new step with a lot of its capabilities. Knights of the Old Republic that you can play on your phone now.
Wow.
And you just end up getting all of that mixed in with it. I don't know. I can't keep up. I'm going to go lay down and play Genshin Impact on my PC and my phone.
Yeah, no, the Game Awards. The Game Awards came out. It was.
That's right. That was this past week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Last of Us Part 2 award show.
Mm-hmm.
They basically ran away with every major relevant title that you could, bring a trophy home for.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, I think that wraps everything up for us. We covered the gamut.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably end up doing one more before end of year.
We'll try to.
Yeah.
No promises, but yeah, I have between Christmas and New Year's off.
I don't, but I anticipate it being relatively small.
Right.
Maybe I'll actually catch up on content to release and get it out to everyone.
That and the wives and mothers-in-laws and whatnot.
Cousins, sister-in-laws, ex-roommates.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean most of our families in education of some sort, so we'll all have some time off, which means the kids can be wrangled and we'll have some free time.
Dude, we need breaks from the kids.
Yeah.
New Year, there's the potential that this young woman who has been kind of preschooling.
Our daycare?
Yeah, daycare. I think she had certification in certain PPE in order to run, but supposedly she's going to open in January. And I think just to be able to give ourselves and the wives an hour or two break during the day outside of working where the kids aren't around is going to be the biggest blessings we can get.
Yeah.
Because gosh darn it, we love those kids, but we love them also when they're at a distance. And we could all use that recharge.
And it's not even the recharge. Again, now we're flipping back on the life side. Yeah, it's like just trying to keep up with your day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how often I come home from work at 2:00 and I walk in the house and the TV is still on, the light in the kitchen is still on, the light in their bedroom is still on. I walk into my office and things are still running, and it's like, how does this keep happening? Right? And it's as soon as, because we're wrangling 2 children while trying to work and everything. As soon as my wife is done teaching, it's into mom mode.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even into wife mode. She's got to immediately take care of them, wrangle them, and more often than not, it's come here, and 2-on-3 is easier than 1-on-2 or 1-on-1. You can kind of.
But on a side note, having played Ark with your oldest, she now understands the value of tranquilizer darts. I'm just putting that out there in case you need it.
Don't give her any ideas.
No, I'm giving you the idea so she understands.
Hey,
I want to make you my friend.
That's, yeah. I'm going to feel a sharp pain in my ass one day.
And wake
and
up.
a giggle. And then I'll wake up.
With a collar on?
With a collar on.
But that's a different type of show.
Yeah.
So shall we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap this up before too much Redbreast kicks in and it turns into that kind of a show.
Right. So, from episode 17 of the Whiskey Podcast, I'm Chudata.
I am Nate Fu. You can find me at... what just happened?
You can find us. You know where to find us. You know where our links are.
Who's chatting?
Lady Fu.
Look at your chat. Chat.
Look at your phone.
Oh, sorry.
So, without further ado, I'm Chudata.
I'm Nate Fu. You can find me on Twitter at GGNateFu. You can find me on Twitch at NateFu. And
I'm Chudata 2020 everywhere. And debuffdad.com. So thank you very much. Happy holidays. And if we don't see you before the end of the year, stay safe. Talk to you soon.